Opinion 3 Pillars of PM Modi's Global South Doctrine. Diaspora, Democracy, and Resources. We are today in an era of geopolitical flux and the realignment of global power. As such, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's foreign tours are not just routine diplomatic exercises. Take, for instance, his multi-nation tour of Ghana, Trinidad Tobago, Argentina, Brazil, and Namibia. It is a master class in a new and assertive Indian foreign policy, one that is moving beyond the traditional paradigms of non-alignment. As New Delhi charts its course, it has become clear that its engagement with the Global South is no longer merely an extension of post-colonial solidarity. It has matured into a strategic doctrine built on three distinct pillars: the emotive power of the diaspora, the shared values of democracy, and the pragmatic pursuit of resources to fuel India's, and indeed, the Global South's growth. PM Modi's stops in Trinidad and Tobago, Ghana, Argentina, Brazil, and Namibia are not random dots on a map. Each represents a cornerstone of this new architecture, showcasing a policy that is ambitious, nuanced, and rooted in India's core national interests all at once. PM Modi's tour of these nations marks his longest and perhaps most consequential foreign visit since 2014. The first pillar, the diaspora, was on full display in Trinidad and Tobago. 40% of this country's population is of Indian origin. With even leaders who trace their roots to India, Trinidad is a living testament to the strategic value of India's soft power. A shared heritage creates a foundation of trust that can accelerate negotiations and smooth over diplomatic friction that might otherwise stall progress. After all, the Prime Minister's visit marks 180 years since the arrival of Indian immigrants in the country, thereby tapping into a deep well of historical connection. But this relationship is not fueled by nostalgia alone. Trinidad is the Caribbean's largest producer of oil and natural gas. For India, a nation that imports over 85% of its crude oil and whose economic growth is inextricably linked to energy security, a stable partnership with a major hydrocarbon producer in the Western Hemisphere is a significant strategic asset. Such a dual-pronged approach that leverages cultural ties to cement economic and energy partnerships is, in fact, now a recurring theme. We saw a similar dynamic play out in Guyana, another energy-rich Caribbean nation with a powerful Indian diaspora that PM Modi visited recently. This is a deliberate strategy using the human bridge of the diaspora to build durable economic and strategic infrastructure. The second pillar, democratic partnership, finds its anchor in Ghana. In his address to the Ghanaian parliament, PM Modi's emphasis on a shared history of colonial struggle and a mutual commitment to democratic ideals was deliberate. By stating that both nations bear the scars of colonial rule, but our spirits have always remained free, he framed the India-Ghana relationship as a partnership of equals as opposed to one of a donor and recipient. This is the language of the new Global South, a bloc demanding a greater voice in institutions of global governance. It is also a subtle counter to China, which very often looks to build patronizing loan partnerships with countries in the Global South. Ghana, one of West Africa's most stable democracies and fastest-growing economies, is a natural gateway for India into the region. With significant lithium reserves, Ghana is a critical partner for India's green energy transition. The $450 million line of credit extended by India for projects like the Timampe-Kadan railway line is a strategic investment in infrastructure that will help bring Ghanaian resources to global markets, benefiting both nations. This approach stands in contrast to China's models of engagement in Africa that have been criticized for creating unsustainable and predatory debt. This push is the maturation of a policy that began years ago. India's role in securing a permanent seat for the African Union at the G20 table during its presidency was a tangible demonstration of New Delhi's commitment to acting as a genuine advocate for the Global South. That one move helped it earn immense political capital across the continent. The third pillar is the most pragmatic: resource security. India's ambition to become a global manufacturing hub requires a secure and uninterrupted supply of critical minerals and energy, especially if India wants this to happen using clean energy. As China tries to curtail the flow of critical minerals around the world, India's partnership with countries like Namibia and Argentina becomes crucial. In Namibia, for example, the focus is on uranium for India's civilian nuclear program and rare earth elements for its high-tech industries. Yet, the approach is distinguished by its conscience. This resource diplomacy reaches its zenith in Argentina. At a time when the world is pivoting toward electric vehicles, Argentina, sitting at the heart of the lithium triangle, has become indispensable. Holding the world's second-largest lithium reserves, it is key to the global battery supply chain. For India, securing a stake in Argentina's cost-effective lithium brine deposits is a matter of paramount strategic importance. But India's interest is broader. Argentina also holds the world's second-largest shale gas and fourth-largest shale oil reserves, most notably in the Vaca Muerta formation. This makes it a comprehensive energy partner for India, covering both the green transition and traditional energy security. Swipe left for next video viewed together. These visits reveal the clear-eyed calculus of Modi's Global South Doctrine. This is not the non-alignment of a bygone era. It is a multi-alignment strategy for a new age, where India builds tailored partnerships based on shared history, common values, and convergent interests. It is a policy that understands that in the 21st century, the bonds of diaspora can fortify supply chains, the principles of democracy can underwrite stable investments, and the quest for resources can be balanced with creative and conscientious diplomacy. This is India stepping into its role not just as a balancing power, but as a leading power, actively shaping the agenda of the Global South from within. Latest blogs.